Welcome back, or if you're a first time visitor, I'm Antara from An Automate. And in this video, I'm going to show you a few hacks about how you can win the battle of the form by using AI. Now, here's the thing. You open a form, it's 8 to 10 pages long. You browse, start filling. Now, question 3 asks you something you weren't expecting at all. You type a half answer, you move on. By page 6, you realize you've already said something on page 2 that contradicts this. You try to fix it, you run out of time, you submit anyway, it just leaves you frustrated. Now, that is a scramble and not an award winning entry. Today I'm going to show you how I read an entire 8-page competition form, every question, every section, every file upload requirement in under 2 minutes, and I do it before typing a single word of my actual response and understanding all the section skips. But you can finally submit such applications by being in the top 5% by virtue of better and planned answers to maximize the assessment criteria. So watch to the end. Now, this channel is about using AI in the real, practical, and slightly unglamorous ways that actually save you time and make your work better. Now, this video, while showing you the demo, will primarily use Claude in Chrome, which is basically nothing but Claude operating directly inside your browser. No API setup, no code. You give it a task, it uses your browser to get the job done. Today's use case will be extracting an entire online form. Now, this form utilizes Google Forms, but could be JotForm, Tally, or any of them. It extracts it into a Word document before you fill it up so you can plan, structure, and write the best possible response. Now, I will walk you through and show how to do it via the demo, and this is where it gets really interesting. So, this is the Toy Nova Innovation Challenge 2026 form. It's organized by the Toy Association of India. You can see that it has 8 pages. It's a real competition, cash prizes, exhibition is at Pragati Maidan, and the kind of opportunity that's worth putting your best effort into. Now, here's what most people will do, they will open the form, they will go through all the questions, scroll page by page, they overview the theme, then they'll go to the next page. Either they will start answering and discover the questions as they go, or many of them will go through all the 8 pages, think, oh my god, it is such a huge form to fill, get discouraged, or some will just go back, take the screenshots into a Word document to plan submissions later. Now, you can either go through these sections and loops one at a time, but this form, remember, has 4 themes with section skips and breaks and loops. It does get complicated, right? So why go through pages live when some sections actually don't matter to you? This is what I call the scroll and scramble method, and it is the single biggest reason people submit mediocre responses to forms they could have absolutely nailed. So the shortcut: extract the form, understand the mechanics, understand the scoring criteria, questions, and collateral upload criteria, and then create a draft submission at your end first. Now, how to do the smarter approach, and it maybe takes 2 minutes or so to set up. What you have to do is go to Google. In case you don't have Claude Cowork, it's simple. Go to Google, ask for Claude desktop download app, download it. It will walk you through a couple of steps. You use Mac or Windows accordingly, and when it's downloaded, it looks something like this. You choose Cowork. Okay, and the other thing you need is you need Claude in Chrome. It has something called as connectors, which is hidden over here, but basically it connects my browser to this. And the important thing you need to remember is that the Gmail you use for Claude over here, this plan that I use, it has to have the same Gmail that you signed in with Chrome. That is the only setup requirement. Don't worry, the first time it needs to browse, it will actually guide you to set up. Like in my case, look, I just gave one simple prompt. Can you click on the link or else read? This was the Google form. It itself said, okay, open Chrome, started opening Chrome on my computer. Then I had a couple of browsers open, so it says, okay, choose one that I need to work on, and that's how it proceeded. It then asked for my permission if I could, say click on some required check boxes because it needed to navigate through pages 2 to 8, and it said let me tick that. So I said okay, you can do that. It keeps on updating me what pages it can see. Then it says look, I need to also again check on a few boxes. After that I was like yeah, fine, do that. Then again it says to read the rest of the pages, should I go ahead and check it so that we can proceed reading the form? It says very critically that the form won't be submitted, only a draft will be saved to my Google account. I said yes. It keeps on doing, goes through all the pages, page 2, page 3, it has jumped to page 8 of 8. It understands that pages 3 to 7 contain other theme specific questions, and this is important. And then it says I have got all the pages, and it saves it into a neat Word document. Say it says I now have all the content I need. Let me write the Word document. It has some errors at its own end. It fixes it by itself, and voila, I have the document saved at my end. Let me show you the document. This is the document that it has extracted. Okay. Now, one thing that you must note is that it shows 12 pages, whereas on the Google form, you must have seen 8 pages. Now, this 8-page Google form becomes a 12-page Word document. That's not a bug. When Google Forms display questions on screen, it compresses them. But when Word writes them out in full with all the instructions and options, they take up more space. So 12 pages sounds like a lot, but it isn't. It just means that the form is thorough, and now you have it in front of you, completely readable before you have typed a single answer. So you saw the Google form had 8 pages, but you only filled 3. So extract first and understand the full logic and only fill what applies to you. Now let me walk you through what actually changes when you do this. Benefit 1, you see the full picture before you commit to anything. Toy Nova has an assessment criteria or a rubric on page 1. If you extract the form first, you can read that rubric, criteria, or framework, whatever you want to call it, and then read the actual submission questions and align it to your answers to the scoring criteria. You know where the judges are allocating the most marks. You write accordingly. That is strategy. That is not possible if you're discovering the questions as you go. Understanding the skip logic and stop wasting the time on sections that are not meant for you. This form has 4 things, but other forms could be different or even say more complicated. So you pick one that suits you and the form routes accordingly. When you have the full extracted document, you can see this logic clearly. You don't need to read all 4 or whatever number of theme descriptions in detail. You just stick to yours. You go straight to the final submission page, which applies to all the themes. So 8 pages is what you see on the screen, but you're only really filling maybe 3. Benefit 3, no forgetting, no repeating, no scrambling. When you have the full form as a document, you can write your responses offline. You see all the questions at once. You allocate your strongest points to the right questions. You don't accidentally repeat yourself because you can see what you've already said. This is how you write a coherent submission instead of an improvised one. Benefit 4, media requirements and no last minute panic. So generally last page and last questions generally ask for an image or a video as supporting proof. It could be via a Google Drive link. They also specify sometimes formats: JPEG, PNG, MP4, or MOV. It could also give you file sizes, say maximum 10 MB, 20 MB. And it also asks for shareable links, say set to anyone with the link who can view it. If you see this at the end of a form you've been filling for 45 minutes, you will get irritated. But if you see it in your extracted document, you prepare your visual, resize it, upload it to a drive, test the link. It is the difference between scrambling and showing you're prepared. Plan your grammar, structure, and emphasis, not on the fly. When you fill a form in real time, you edit as you go. You notice a typo after you've moved to the next page. You realize mid answer that you should have led with a different point. Judges read hundreds of submissions. The ones that are clearly structured, grammatically clean, and logically sequenced stand out. So extract the form, write your answers in a separate document, review them, only go back and fill the actual form. You're actually 5 steps ahead of everyone who opened the link and started typing. Now, where else does this matter? I use this competition form as an example today, but this works anywhere someone has put a form between you and an opportunity. Think incubator applications like T Hub, NASCOM, all use long intake forms. See what they're actually evaluating before you write a word. Venture capital fund applications, many have public application forms or partner intake questionnaires. Same approach. Or you could be applying as a mentor. That too requires you to put an effort. Government scheme applications, startup, DPIT, PLI. These forms are often long, procedural, and unforgiving. Knowing the full structure upfront is not optional. Grant applications, DST, BRAC, SIDB, these tend to be the most detailed of all. You want days to plan this, not hours. So the pattern is the same every time. Extract first, plan your submission, then fill. Put your best foot forward. And if you have a competition, an incubator application, or any form you've been putting off, try this before you fill it. Drop a comment and let me know how it went. If you found this useful, share, like, subscribe. I post real AI automation use cases, things that I have actually tested with clients and in my own work. No hype, not so glamorous stuff, but just what works. I'm Mantra from An Automate and see you in the next one.